Hello everyone, Paly here, and welcome to this tutorial on a super easy starter house that I really fell in love with when I first built it. The materials in this one probably aren't overly hard to gather other than maybe the terracotta in the roof, but as we go along I will actually show you some alternate materials you can use to make it even easier to gather in survival. So this is actually my SMP world that we're in right now, but let's jump into the creative and get started. Before we get started, here is a list of items that you actually gonna need. And I'll actually give you the exact numbers that I use, but a lot of these blocks kind of vary, like the wall items, just because it's just totally random how you actually place them in. If you want to know the exact number of items that I used, here it is, and I'll scroll really slowly so you can kind of take a look. This build is going to be a 5x9, so find yourself a little cozy spot. I like to kind of put my houses up against a hill so that I can kind of landscape the backdrop and it actually looks nice. And grab yourself some dark oak logs and go up 1, 2, 3, 4, and do this in all 4 corners. And once you've raised all the corners, go ahead and run beams all the way across and connect all 4 corners. And once you got the basic structure, go ahead and strip everything. So your structure should actually look like this, and now we can actually get started on the walls. So door is going to be right in this spot, and I like to use cracked stone brick, or you can use stone brick, whichever one you want, and place it right there. And then grab a spruce door, and now we can actually do the walls. And what you want to do is grab some oak logs, some birch logs, and birch planks. And basically you can kind of just start dotting these things around. And then once you got that, go ahead and strip them. So in this case, I don't overly like having these two together, so we can always just change it up and vary it. And if you don't like one spot of it, you can always change it. So like that. And now for the sides, we can actually go ahead and just randomly dot these things around. And remember, you're going to have windows. So the windows are actually going to be in this spot right here. And it's going to be too tall. So make sure you actually leave room for those. And your windows should actually be 2 in from the corner and then 1, 2, 3 gap in the middle. And what you want to do is once the wall is up is go ahead and strip it all down. There we go. So repeat this pattern on the other side, and then for the back, you won't have a door, but you'll have a window. And so on the back, we'll kind of look something like this. And like I said, windows are always going to be too tall, so do that, and then we'll strip it. The last little touch that you need to do with the stripped variants is go 3 across on the front and 2 up, and go ahead and get those stripped. And repeat that in the back. Things are now starting to take shape, so go get yourself some dark oak stairs, dark oak planks, and dark oak slabs, and we can start the roof. So what you want to do is go 1, 2, 3, and on the 4th block, go ahead and start the roof there. And you want to alternate going upside down. And then on top of the upside down one, you want to do a full block, then stairs. And on the back of that one, upside down stairs. Full block, and then once you get to the middle, you want to do one more stair there and do an upside down stairs, but facing kind of outwards. And then let's go ahead and repeat that pattern. Upside down, full block, regular stairs, upside down on the back side, full block, regular. And so you kind of have that shape. And then once you kind of get that, we can actually put the peak of the roof in. And what you want to do is put a stair here and then a stair there. And that gives it just kind of a little bit of a peek out. So now go ahead and fill in both sides. And now repeat exactly what you did on the front. Just to reiterate, so every time that you have an upside down stairs, you're going to want a full block and then a regular stair. Upside down, full block, regular stairs. So in order to complete the trim on this roof, so starting at the top of this block, you want to just continue this line all the way to the other side. Now it's time to actually finish up the roof here. So pick green terracotta and lime terracotta. And I'll show you later. You can pick any variant as long as there's two of them. And pick one that's going to be the dominant color. And I think the light one will be the dominant one. And then sprinkle in green terracotta. So you can kind of just run a line here. And every once in a while, pick green, the darker variety. And fill in wherever there is a solid block. So in this case, you want to go back one. And go ahead and just sprinkle those around. And then once you get to the solid block again, you're going to go straight up. So basically everywhere there's a stairs, you're going to leave that, like you don't want a block there. So you want to leave that open. But when it goes up, that's where you're going to actually want to start placing them. And then top it off, you're going to go right down the middle. So there you go. That's one complete side. Go ahead and finish that and duplicate that on the other side. The great thing is once you got it complete, you can kind of sit back and actually look at it. And if you don't like a particular area, go ahead and just replace it. I kind of like doing stripes of some of the dark stuff as if it was a stain, you know, stain down there. But yeah, and if you're in survival, these are actually spawnable. So on mine, I actually put the green carpet, and although it doesn't look overly great, but at least in survival, you kind of will be a little bit safer and creepers won't fall on your head. For the roof cover, let's go underneath this building where I kind of set up a little thing and experiment with different colors. Great thing about this terracotta, you got a lot to choose from. So this is the terracotta that I chose for this tutorial, but you can literally pick any one of these. Let's go a little crazy. Let's see here. Yellow and, hey, you know what? Brown. You can see that you can pick a primary color. Actually, I'd probably pick brown as the primary and yellow. It would probably work. These colors go great together. And if you're really not into getting terracotta at your stage in the game, go with any of the woods. So you can pick any trim, but in this case, if we stuck with the dark oak, you can pretty much pick any of the other colors and it will be nice. As long as you're contrasting. I wouldn't want to go, let's see, there's no dark on dark in this case, but all of them I actually think would work. Even the orange, which I really haven't done in my case. But yeah, there's some ideas on what you can actually do for the roofs. Yep, we are getting there. It's starting to look good. So let's do some detail work now. So let's start off with the windows. So I always like to put some form of shutter on my windows. And in this case, oak trapdoors. You could use spruce depending on, you know, your color palette. And on this back one, typically a shutter would be on one side, but you could totally just do it on both. I mean, functionally wise, it wouldn't make sense, but at least it's symmetrical. And then we'll just continue down on this other side like this. Yeah, so the next detail we're going to do is fences. And these are spruce fences. So what you want to do is run these alongside the dark oak on all sides. And next we're going to do some trim kind of above here. So my major complaint with this is the roof poking through just a little there. In the beginning it really bugged me, but it's not that bad anymore. So what I did to actually kind of counteract that is just throw some stuff up here to distract your eyes from it. So fence, and then a gate inside. Don't open it. And then gate here, but open these. Yeah, that's starting to look good. And you can repeat that on the back. So fence with a gate in the middle. The only thing that we need to do on the sides is put a fence gate here in the middle, and then fence, and then repeat that on the other side. Fence on the sides, and then fence gate in the middle. All right, now for the interior. So what we need to do is we need to get a floor in here, and I'm just going to do a combination of stone, andesite, cobble, stone brick, and cracked stone brick. And what we can do is just dot them around, make it random. Sometimes put 2 blocks together, but for the most part, I usually just kind of break it up. And typically what I do is I take 1 block and I just kind of spam it around, fill in some of the areas, and then once I get down to the last block, it's usually pretty good. So, yes, it's looking good. So the next thing we need to do is actually get the interior detail in. And what I did is I poked a hole in the roof. Let's go on the outside so you know kind of where it goes. So centered on the wall and 1 in there, so you can kind of get an idea. If the furnace was right here, then obviously the chimney would go straight up. You can also kind of put it off to a side and make it crooked if you want, but I always kind of do that. So I used a blast furnace, and what I do is I put iron bars on each side and then run a chimney up. Once you get to probably this point, you might want to switch over to the bricks. And you can run those up. As a matter of fact, you could probably knock one out and start it there. And that's mostly because these will actually show on the other side. So what we can do is end it there. And what we need to do is get a campfire. And spruce is probably what I usually use. Trapdoors. So what we can do is do that. And then surround it. Oh, you already see a problem? We can't put the one on the backside. So let's bring this up 1 higher. So we'll do cracked here. Campfire. And then now we can surround it by the trapdoors. Yeah, and there we go. And that's the chimney. And here you go. Super cozy, easy house. So I did a little bit of landscaping over here, and it's basically just dotting in some rocks, which is andesite and stone base. Where's a good example? Let me move over here. There's stone. So stairs, slabs, full blocks. Get some berry bushes in here, some dead bushes. Dot around a lot of oak leaves. And bone mill the ground. Get some coarse dirt around. Podzol. But basically just kind of surround your build by trees, and it makes it looks really good. Let's go take a look at the interior here. Yeah, so since this is going to be survival, you want to at least get some barrels in the back here. And got a crafting table, bed. I did some scaffolding with a pot and some flowers back there and over here. Yeah, it's looking good. So there you go. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this content, hit that like button. And if you want to see more tutorials, I would love it if you subscribed. Until next time, see ya!